What's up, all y'all out there? Welcome back and thank you for tuning in to another great episode of The Sully Show. Today, we, Maker's Mark. Alright, that's all I'm going to say. Maker's Mark Cask Strength. Some great Kentucky bourbon for us today. This was always my dad's go-to. Well, and at least, I see him drinking a lot when I was growing up. He still kind of does, so it's got a little special spot in my heart. But obviously, this isn't just regular Maker's Mark. This is Maker's Mark Cask Strength. Alright, little different, but we'll get into that later on. Let's go ahead and pop her open, dump her in a glass, and try it. I have already tasted it a little bit, but it won't be a big deal. Let's pour her up. Nice little glass of it there. I still don't understand why Maker's Mark doesn't have a cork. Maker's Mark is screw tops. Maybe some of them do. I don't know. I haven't tried all of them. I only tried regular Maker's Mark and the Cask Strength here. It seems like they should have a cork though. It really does. Obviously, we got to start with the smell test first. First things first. So, I am actually kind of smelling some caramel. I feel like I'm nutty, and sorry, not nutty, oaky and smoky for sure. Oaky and smoky guaranteed. I feel like I might smell a little bit of caramely sweetness. Yeah, definitely some caramely sweetness in it. That's kind of cool. I feel like normally my smell depths aren't that deep. But I feel like they're kind of deep this time for smell depths. So, oaky, smoky, caramely. Three things right there. Let's jump straight into the tastes. That doesn't work like that. Let's taste it though. So on the very tip of my tongue, when I first took that sip, it was very caramely. Like it tasted a lot like caramel. And then as the sip made its way through my mouth, down my throat, it became oaky and smoky. Very deep flavors though. While they're fairly basic, you know, most whiskeys are oaky and smoky, a lot of them are caramely. They're deeper than a lot of whiskeys. So while it's your basic flavors, it provides a lot of depth in here. The bite isn't bad. When I first started drinking whiskey, I feel like I would probably have said this bite's too strong. But as I have expanded my experience in the wonderful world of whiskeys, I've gotten better at tasting, better at understanding things. They're not great, obviously, but better. I feel like I have come to appreciate that bite a little bit more. And this is probably about as strong as I currently like. But I will say, it's a different bite. I feel like a lot of bites are stronger. I feel like a lot of bites are weaker, but I feel them in my nose, I feel them all the way down my throat. This feels like a very targeted bite. Like they wanted you to feel it as you swallowed, feel it for a minute, and then it goes away. And that's exactly what this is. So it feels like a very targeted bite, which I'm very impressed by. Overall, pretty good stuff. But let's get on some ice and see, is it better? Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and that is right after the break of me telling you about what makes Cask Strength different than regular Maker's Mark. So we'll be right back with you. Now, what makes Cask Strength regular or different than regular Maker's Mark? It's Cask Strength. That's that. Boom, answered your question. If you don't know what Cask Strength is, two things. One, go watch my whiskey terms and definitions video, because I'll explain it there. But 2, basic explanation, it's the whiskey bottled right out of the barrel at whatever proof the barrel is at that time. Alright, it's basically what it is. It's not diluted, it's not nothing. It's bottled straight out of the barrel. For a more in-depth definition and other wonderful terms that you probably don't want to know, go check out my whiskey terms and definitions video. But now the price on Maker's Mark, cask strength, $50 to $60 is kind of about what you're going to pay for it depending on where you are. I paid $50 here in the communist state of Virginia, but $50 to $60, so not, I mean, you know, the Angel's Envy price. Expensive, but not bad. You know, kind of top of the line for myself. If I spend any more, it's going to be something I drank very rarely. This is top of the line for myself, but not too bad. Now, the proof. You might be kind of wondering, well, how can you know the proof of this if it's bottled at barrel strength? And that's a good question. But it has a range of proofs, alright? The cask strength will be between 108 and 114 proof. So cask and barrel strength are always going to be stronger than regular whiskey. Pretty sure they'll always be above 100 proof. I'm pretty sure that's kind of like the thing. They'll always be above 100. I go in more in depth again in my whiskey terms and definitions video. So between 108 and 114 proof for this Maker's Mark cask strength. The bottle I specifically have is 110.6 proof, or 55.3% alcohol. So, I mean, pretty high alcohol content, pretty good. However, you almost can't tell, you can't taste alcohol, and I'm pretty impressed by that, I gotta say. Now, the flavors. Like I said when I tasted it and I smelled it, it's nothing special. You know, according to the Maker's Mark people who design the whiskey, the flavors they design into it are like oaky, caramel, vanilla, spice, and smoke. And those are probably the most common flavors in a whiskey. You know, like every whiskey is going to have oaky, it's going to have smoky, most are going to have caramel, touch of sweetness, and a lot are going to have spice. However, it's about what you do with those flavors. And these people have done something different. They have elevated the flavors, they've expanded the flavors, put depth into those flavors. So it's different than just your typical oaky and smoky. You actually like taste some depth, some difference in there. But let's get back into it before our ice melts too much. Let's get back into it on ice. See if we've noticed anything different. Not much. Obviously that bite has been diluted a little bit. The flavors are a little bit more bold, but not much. You know, it's more just I don't feel it as much. I can taste it more. Overall, I really don't know if you need ice. You can probably drink it faster on ice. But, I mean, you might not want to drink it fast because it's $60, $50, $60 a bottle. You might want to drink it kind of slow and take your time and enjoy it. But, it's still good on ice. It's still good on ice, but it hasn't really changed. It's still a lot of the same thing. Oh, quality whiskey. Quality whiskey, definitely on recommend. I would say me, I'm going to have to give it like a 3.5 and 3.5. Total of a 7. That might be too low. I'm going to go 4 and 4. We're going to go 8. Total of an 8. It's not perfect. However, it's very good. It's very good. But obviously not perfect. And it ain't no Jameson. Still, Jameson's always my favorite. But they're different whiskeys. You know, you can't compare apples to different apples. You know, you just can't do it really. 8 out of 10 right there. Very quality stuff for either way. Don't really need ice, but I enjoy colder whiskeys. I enjoy whiskey a little bit cold, so I like it on ice more. Don't need it though. Not a necessity. So that wraps it up right there for this episode of The Wonderful Sully Show, where we drink and enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know if there's anything I can do better or if there's anything you would enjoy seeing on this show. And other than that, let your friends know about me so we can all enjoy and drink together. Cheers.